Hello?
Hey Ryan, Sean Reitmeyer, GC Experts.
Oh man, I was just listening to your video. Wow, Sean, that's crazy. How you doing?
Not bad at all. I guess the main takeaway here is how hard is it to get a hold of me?
I guess not that hard. Amazing, quite amazing. Yeah, yeah. That's freaking well. That's awesome. I don't want to take up much of your time, but I'm really curious what you think. As far as getting into this business, I'm a retired firefighter. Retirement sucks. Got to do something else living in Florida. And I was thinking about getting a van and doing extinguisher and things, but I'm also pretty good. I got it in computer stuff and pretty savvy in the whole marketing aspect. And I was thinking, what if I could just get contracts and then give them to? I've got friends that have roofing companies, things like that. Is that a possibility?
Not only is it a possibility, I thought your first idea was stupid. Your second, you redeemed yourself in your second idea.
Sweet. Oh wow. Yeah, because I was. I mean, yeah, I've been looking into it. Somehow, this War Dog guy came up on my Instagram thing, and I'm like, I remember that freaking movie. But then I remember listening to you, and you sound a little more just with it. And I love I don't bullshit. And so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more down to earth than me. And for God's sakes, I haven't worn a suit in probably 20 years.
Oh,
Um,
yes, shoot me if I have to do that. Yes, I'm not a big computer fan either. I don't know how well you do it behind the desk. I was a firefighter, man. I loved it. I
yeah,
just
yeah, being out there and seeing shit get done, yeah, it's amazing. So let's talk about it for a minute. So I want to address the concept of should I get a van and go out and do fire extinguisher inspections. I have definitely an opinion on this. And again, most of what you're going to hear is opinions, and opinions are like assholes, as they say. Um, but I've got some perspective after being in business for 30 years. And so that's, I think, why people would reach out to somebody like me is to get a little glimpse into that perspective. And all that
sure.
said, correct me if I'm wrong, but what happened was you're sitting around bored, firefighter, retired, thinking, what are my skill sets and how can I monetize that? And then some idea popped in your head. Well, fuck, I know how to go inspect fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers need to be inspected. That's something I can go do.
Yeah, 1,000%. Not the board thing. I'm homeschooling two boys, but we need the money. So yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay. So, and that's fine.
exactly.
That's the mindset of most people out there. I've got no problem with that. Hey, the world does need some fire extinguishers to be inspected, I am sure. But that's just you. You're creating a job for yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, I
Okay?
would be. Yep.
And I don't get too excited about, quote, creating a job for yourself. Have you ever heard of the book, The E Myth?
I've heard of it.
Okay,
I have not read it.
so
Yeah.
the E in the E myth stands for entrepreneurial, the entrepreneurial myth. And the idea goes that most people that go into business think of themselves as entrepreneurs. But the fact is, they're not.
Yeah.
What really most people that start business were doing what they were doing for somebody else and then went, why am I making this other guy money when I could be doing it myself? And so they take that skill set or whatever they learned and they go out and I'm going to start a business. Woohoo! The problem is that businesses don't come with instruction manuals and there's a whole shit ton of stuff you have to learn and you either learn it or you learn it the hard way. Okay. And then what happens is you figure out, well, the more I work, the more I make. And I like money. Okay. Then you get sick and you can't work that day. Holy shit, no income today or tomorrow or next week, or a family member gets sick and you gotta take things, life happens. Okay?
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, I need a company so I can have other people doing it. That comes with a whole another list of hurdles. Okay? Being responsible for now this van that's going to be going out that people are driving to go do, now you got all these additional costs that you never had before. And oh shit, now you're up on Thursday night worried about how you're going to make payroll tomorrow and all these kinds of things. To me, that is just dumb.
Yeah, this is kind of putting it all together for me. I kind of got the firefighter job because I saw my dad struggle. He had a business and he had employees, and I was like, I could just do the fire department thing and just show up and do my best and do that. But now I want
Most
to get,
people in the
yeah,
world do that. If you go down the
yeah,
street, most people are working for somebody else. Most. Just go
right,
look at the number of businesses in your town, okay? And then look at the
sure,
number of cars on the road and the number of people. Way less businesses than people,
right,
okay? Now, at some point, the smarter guys figure out how to work on the business rather than in the business. That's where things really start happening.
okay,
Then you have to decide, what kind of business do I want to be in?
okay,
Okay, you can either learn something new or you can apply what you already know. I don't know what kind of person you are, but you're having this conversation, so, you know, it sounds like you're at least interested in looking into federal contracts, okay?
yeah,
And I get that my content is compelling from the perspective of, there's not many people in the world that know what I know that would openly share it in conversations because, if you just take the extreme, people in the CIA or the NSA or the president himself, people who know don't usually tell.
yes, totally. They
Okay?
want to keep that data for themselves, or
And I
yeah,
seem to be the only
close,
guy in federal government construction that is willing to share the secrets. Okay. Now there's some I'll share publicly, but then there's also some that are behind a paywall because I can give people enough information that they can kind of get into this on their own if they really want to, go to the school of hard knocks, okay? Or, you can skip all that based on my 30-year career and just start replicating what I tell you to do. But really everything starts with the video with Michael. Did you see that video where I talk about your 4 options?
this is that other man that has the business, and then the one you kept referring to. I mean, as Michael, I think I was just listening to that one.
Okay,
He's the man
where
with the kid in the background. Yeah.
it's the one where I talk about Federal Acquisition Regulation 13.004. I talk about the 4 options you have when a contracting officer calls you to award you a federal contract. Hold on
No
just one
problem.
second.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this while I'm on the phone.
Whatever you gotta do.
Hey Joel.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I've got a guy that's looking into the GC Experts program. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
Ryan, I go.
Brian. Anyway, you want to give him your opinion of the GC Experts program?
It is an amazing journey, and it's not as easy as it. If you're OCD, it's going to be horrible.
Okay.
Because you have to be able to get out of your own head to be able to understand how to do this. And once you do, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. I like the thinking type stuff. You know,
I'll just tell you this, Brian, that Joel, of anybody I've ever had in my system, he seems to be struggling more than anybody else. And we talk, I would say, on average, at least once a day, and sometimes 5, 6, or 7 times a day.
You know,
But I'm working with him hand in hand to help him get federal contracts. And the reason that I took this call while you and I are on the phone is because my clients take priority over everything. And so, with all that said, Joel, how can I help you?
the question is, I have a contractor in Key West, Florida, wanting to know what insurance he needs for L&I, being
G,
that he is a
GNL
owner.
GNL 1 2 is the general and liability insurance, 1 million, 2 million. It's the
GNL,
standard insurance that any contractor has.
and that's all he needs.
That's all he needs. And then
Done.
if you give him the contract, he'll need to send you a certificate of insurance, which is something very common across the industry.
Well, he doesn't have it, being that he's a sole proprietor and he's the only employee. So he doesn't have L&I because he's the owner.
Okay, well,
So
look,
that's what he needs to
I'll tell
get.
you this. There have been at least 5 times in my career that I was talking to the right guy to get the specific job done, and he didn't have insurance, and I just bought him insurance.
How much? So something like that, is that is that something that where that could just roll in underneath yours?
Only if you hired him and put him on your payroll.
So if you don't do that and you keep him as a subcontractor, you would just buy it as a separate policy for that job?
Yeah, I would literally tell him, get a quote, I'll add that to your contract amount, and I'll pay it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, because I couldn't find it in here. It's like it's got to be Sean knowledge somewhere tucked away in that head.
Yep,
So
it's all in here.
okay. Done. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Yep, good luck.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Fuck. Brilliant solution. Yeah, just take it all, handle the hell out of it. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it simple for them. Yeah.
So let's
and
talk.
you're finding these guys jobs.
Yeah.
And so I found the Michael video, and I watched that. I think I might have even watched that years ago. Probably was doing something at the time, so I need to just focus on it. And okay, so you can find these guys jobs, and especially if you know them and you trust them, they're going to do a good job, and you just take a percent. Usually, you're basically finding sales. You're the salesperson.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people can't do, especially when they're busy.
It's just a matter of coordinating. Look, we don't tell the federal government how to spend their money. We just want to be in between what they're spending money on.
Brilliant. Yes, and you're finding work for other people.
And not only that, but look, if you go out tomorrow and buy that van, and then go out and get a contract to inspect 1,000 fire extinguishers, and then you go home and put that contract in your filing cabinet, can anybody in the public walk into your house, into your filing cabinet, open it up and go, holy shit, you got a $20,000 contract?
No.
No.
They can't see it.
Why is that? Because it's private.
Right.
But every contract I ever got in my career, is that private or public?
It's public.
That's right. So do you think I would ever lie about any contract I ever got?
No, because
somebody could go look that shit up. Okay?
Yep.
Now, do you think my guys, my clients that go out and get federal contracts, are their contracts public or private?
Public.
Do you think I would ever lie about any contract they've ever gotten?
No, because it's all trust but verify.
You can all get it. Freedom of Information Act, baby. We the people get to see how our federal government is spending money. Okay? If you had to replace your 3-ton air conditioner at your house, how much do you think that would cost? There's no wrong answer.
Jesus, that's $8,000.
Okay, $8,000. The last 3-ton air conditioner I sold to the federal government, I sold it to them for $107,000. Do you believe me?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think I went to Alaska to go install that 3-ton air conditioner?
I mean, there has to. Well, no, unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't. I just called a local HVAC company and asked them, hey, how much to install this 3-ton air conditioner? I didn't care if they charged me 8, 15, or even 30. But we got it done for 15. There was some ductwork that needed to be done.
Well, how would you do this? Like, do you have to register a business to do this, or would I start a consulting business or a?
You can do this as a sole proprietor. You can do it as a LLC, and you can do it as a corporation.
And what's my specialty? I'd be the middleman, but what would I put down as my specialty? I actually have a service disability. It's a little one, but I don't think that might qualify me. Would there be set asides for that sort of thing?
Of course there are. Look, let's play a little game. Have you ever heard the word SAM registration?
Just on your videos, and then
Okay, so you
okay.
have to be SAM registered, and once you're SAM registered, you are a federal contractor. I mean, here, I'll tell you a little secret. You'll often hear me refer to the word or say the words national federal contractor. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
That is a complete bullshit made up words by me. There's no
Sounds
such
good.
thing as a national federal contractor other than the fact that I said it. Okay? What it is a SAM registration. When you're registered with the government to be able to receive federal contracts, guess what? You're a national federal contractor. You see how I just made that up?
It sounds good.
Oh, it fucking sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now, once you're SAM registered, so now we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you the answer to the question before I ask you the question. Are you ready for the answer?
I'm ready. I like this, yeah.
The answer is SAM registration. Ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay, there's one thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is a
SAM registration.
So if you sell cake mix to the Navy so they can make cakes on ships, what do you need?
SAM registration.
If you sell bullets or aircraft parts or even construction goods and services, what do you need?
SAM registration.
Okay, now let's play the other part of the game. If you and I were walking through a neighborhood and I pointed up to the top of a power pole and said, that is a what? A transformer. Do you know what? Would you be able to recognize a transformer if you saw one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And you're in Florida. So I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Scenario number 1. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician in the state of Florida. Now, that has nothing to do with the company that got the job. All they needed was a
licensed professional to do
you
it.
Fucking failed right there.
Fuck. SAM registration.
All the company needed was a SAM registration. But the transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. So you'd have to hire that guy to do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Scenario number 2. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. Well, now any licensed electrician from any state can go into Florida and replace that transformer. Again, this has nothing to do with the company that got the job. All they needed was a SAM registration. Now, understand this is eminent domain property. There's no such thing as a state inspector going onto a federal job.
Okay.
Scenario number 3. The transformer shall be replaced. Now that literally means that you and I can go out there on a Saturday and replace the transformer. It's because of this that I can tell you I've done $1 billion worth of work with the federal government. I have never had a license of any kind other than a driver's license.
Fuck. Yeah, see, that's different than going to get a van and doing... I have to go get certified on extinguishers and all that, which is fine. But...
Fuck that shit.
This is where I always tell my kids, you're as successful as you can communicate. This is where you got to communicate.
And really we teach that communication is the response that you get.
Okay. Because you're putting it out there, and then you're getting back offers. You're bidding and
whatever you're trying to accomplish. How you communicate what you want is what you're going to end up with. If I choose a different way to communicate with you, watch the difference. Bro, you were a firefighter? How the fuck you gonna get into construction? That's the dumbest idea I ever heard.
Yeah, totally different.
Nice talking to you, Sean.
Yeah. But if you know how to communicate and you understand the paperwork and all that. And do you guys do the SAM registration? I heard you did.
Yeah,
do you
absolutely.
Do it differently than you probably know the ins and outs on how to do it, so you're one of the 3,000 instead of one of the 25,000.
Oh yeah, you're listening to my videos.
Yeah, and I found the Michael video. I'm going to watch that one again. And then what's the paywall to get in the program?
Yeah, I explain it in that video at the end.
Okay.
I don't like to talk money because I'm not really in this for the money. That's why you're not hearing me. So if you buy now, it costs this, and if you get in by I'll discount it here. And I'm just not that fucking guy. I don't need anybody's money.
No, I truly believe you offer an awesome service. That was the thing about the fire department. We would do, it didn't matter where you were in the class. We picked up homeless guys, we picked up billionaires. They still sometimes end up in the back of the ambulance. You just treat them all the same.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a different thing. But fuck, Sean, okay, I'll watch it, and I really appreciate your time. This sounds like something I could do.
Well, this is my personal cell phone number. You can reach out anytime.
Okay. Damn, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.